Did they ever really love you? That person that you just thought of right now, did they ever really love you? It's a question we've all asked ourselves at some point about a specific someone. Did they ever love us? Even though they discarded us, even though they left us, even though we broke up, did at any point, did they really love me? And in my personal life, I have to say yeah, but some points I catch myself asking, did they though? But I always know at the end of the day they did. Because if they didn't, why did they spend so much time with me anyways? I've always thought to myself, if they've spent so much time with me, at some point they must have said, I really love this person. Because they wouldn't have spent time with you. They wouldn't even have cared to be with you. At the end of the day, every time they got to be with you, they would have wanted to leave you, or they would have wanted to be like, I'm busy, or I can't hang out, or I have to do something else. They wouldn't have been spending that time with you. But they did because they loved you or they liked you. It's not that they didn't. And for some of you, you might be asking yourselves, did they even love me? I don't think they did. But did you even love yourself to begin with? Did you like who you were? Did you like who you were already becoming? Because chances are, if you didn't like yourself for that, if you were already changing to this person's needs, you weren't yourself and you wouldn't like that. You don't like that version of yourself because you're changing into someone you're not. Everyone does this. We all do this at some point. For someone we really care about, we start to change and adapt and try to be this person's everything, when in reality, they were with us from the very beginning because they liked us for us. They loved us for us. They didn't want us to change. But it's also normal for people to change, for people to evolve, for people to grow, because it needs to happen. If you don't grow, you're stagnant and you're stuck. But if you change and become someone entirely different, someone that you didn't think you would want to be, or became something you didn't want to become in the first place, then you change into something that isn't you. And I know that for a fact you wouldn't like yourself because you're someone you don't like. This is a topic that I wanted to talk about because I recently was listening to one of the very first episodes of the Zerky Show. And if you don't know who Zerky is, go check him out. He is a big inspiration as to why I've created this. But one of the very first episodes that he did was, did they ever love me? And it's a question that I've been thinking to myself because you'd be crazy to think that they didn't love you. I'm sorry, I'm going to admit it. But for the majority of people that you are with, you'd be crazy to think that they didn't love you. Because this time that they spent with you, they chose you out of all the people. They chose you. You can't make that up. You can't say, no, they didn't. No, they chose you. You chose them and they chose you. And at the end of the day, you guys chose each other because you liked each other for who you guys were. And you guys weren't different. You guys were who you wanted to be. And yes, along the way, you guys became something different. They might have not liked what you turned into or loved what you turned into. That is probably true. But they did love you at some point. They loved who you were. And you can't take that away because that's a fact. And if you don't love yourself, how can you how can you expect someone to fall in love with you? If you don't love yourself, it's like a big point that everyone says. If you don't love yourself, how can you expect someone to fall in love with you? How can you want someone to fall in love with you? Because when you look in the mirror, you see someone that you don't like. You start to hate yourself. I remember growing up, I used to hate the sound of my voice. I used to hate to see myself, photos of myself. And to this day and age, I kind of don't like it in some points, but I've also grown accustomed to enjoy it, to like who I look like, to like who I am. Sorry, who I am now. But that came with overcoming some very big obstacles and some insecurities of mine that I, even to this day, I still somewhat have. I'm not gonna lie, I still have them. But it would take a lot to get to those insecurities, to hurt me. But that's not to say I don't wake up and look in the mirror and say, man, I really look nice today. Or, man, it's nice. I look nice. I feel great. Granted, yes, some days I'll feel like shit, and it makes sense. But other days I'll feel great. But other days I'll feel great. And that's what matters. So right now you might be thinking, did they ever love me? The question you should be asking is, do you even love yourself? Or do you love that past version of yourself? Do you remember that past version of yourself? The version of yourself that they fell in love with? And when you think back to that version of yourself, do you love that version of yourself? And now when you look at yourself in the mirror, you see someone completely different. It's because you're missing something. I don't know what it could be. It could be a core belief. It could be a hairstyle. It could just be a change of clothes, a change of scenery, sorry, a change of scenery. It could just be as simple as changing your personality, trying to become who you really want to be. And if you're able to change that, if you're able to start looking in the mirror and say I love myself, chances are you will find someone that will love you for you and will want you to grow for your own ways, you to grow for your own purpose, for your own goals, for your own dreams. They wouldn't want you to change for their dreams, for their goals, for their benefit. That's not someone you should even be going after anyways, and you know this. Why would you go after someone who doesn't want to spend time with you? Why would you go after someone who doesn't want to talk to you? Why would you go for someone who's been ghosting you? Why would you go for someone that doesn't want to communicate their feelings with you? You know, that's that's what you have to remember. This recently just happened yesterday with one of my friends who was crashing out over a man. And I was telling her, "Why are you upset? I understand you're falling for this person. You like this person. But you wouldn't want to fall in love with someone who's hurting you at the same time. You wouldn't want to fall in love with someone who's not talking to you, who's not communicating, who's not willing to see you, who's not willing to put in the effort." I had to learn this the hard way. I was someone that didn't care. I'm going to be honest. I was someone that didn't care too much. If I had the girl, which was in my past relationship, if I had the girl, I was okay. I was putting an effort like behind the scenes, but showing it like right there in front face and center, I wasn't. I was conformed. I was okay. I was comfortable. And now looking back at myself today, I think to myself, why would I want to get with that version of myself? I don't. I hate that version of myself. I don't like him. He's not me. And my dad was telling me this too. Do you see why you guys broke up? From both of your guys' side. Yes, she discarded you. Yes, she did all the worst things, but you also see what you fucked up on. And I was like, yeah, I do. And I needed to change. I needed that. You ask yourself, did they even love you? Chances are they did. But now you have to ask yourself, do you love yourself? Right here, right now. Look yourself in the mirror, look yourself in that rear view mirror, or look yourself in that mirror in that bathroom and ask yourself that difficult question that you have been avoiding. Do you love yourself? And if you don't, what do you need to change? There is something you need to change if you don't love yourself, who you are right now. You're not supposed to be perfect. I'm going to be honest. You're not supposed to be perfect. And if you think you want to be perfect, newsflash, you're not. You're not going to be perfect. But do you love yourself right now, even though you have flaws, even though you have good benefits, even though for everything that's been going on around you, do you love yourself? I know that they loved you. I'm going to be honest. They did love you. Because if they didn't, they wouldn't have gotten with you in the first place. They loved one version of you that was there. And then you probably changed. And it's not to say change is a bad thing. Change is a good thing. But maybe you changed because you were trying to please them, because you were trying to become someone you aren't. And in the end, it backfired because you were unrecognizable to them. You weren't that person that they fell in love with. And maybe now that you look yourself in the mirror and you ask yourself that question of, do I love myself? Do I like myself right here, right now? Do I like my voice? Do I like my hair? Do I like the way I look? If you can say yes to all of those things, I can guarantee you there's someone out there that wants to love you for those exact same things as well. That loves you even with your insecurities, even with your flaws, that are there for you. They did love you. And now it's time you love yourself. Today's recording is here at Willow Creek. Man, I really wanted to talk about this topic because it was on my mind, and I've been hearing to old Zerky podcasts, and I was like, man, I really do want to talk about this. So shout out to the Zerky Show as they gave me the inspiration for this topic of this video. So if you want to go check them out, go for it. Literally, I don't know, maybe it's attached somewhere, or you just search them up at the Zerky Show. They are amazing. I love Zerky. He's literally the reason why I started to do my yaps here, because I love talking. I talk to myself every day, and it's crazy because some people would say that is weird, but I've grown to love that. I'm embracing the weirdness, and I'm going to be honest. I am going to be the first to admit it. I talk to myself every minute, every day, like as if there's someone here. And yes, that may be sounding crazy, and yes, that may be sounding weird, but I think it's good because the real one is me. So I'm keeping it real with myself at the end of the day. Somewhat like that. I'm guessing so. And that's why I can do all these type of like yap sessions, because it's like it feels comfortable just to talk and talk and talk as if there is someone here. Well, you are here actually. You're listening to me, and for that I want to say thank you, because out of everything that you can listen to, music, podcasts, you chose me. I don't know. I can't wrap that my mind around that. Like it's still something new, very crazy to me, that because you don't. I could get to another tangent. I'm side tangent here real quick. You don't have unlimited time. Your life is limited. You have a limited number of minutes. You have a limited number of days, weeks, and you're choosing it on me. I always think of money, like sometimes like, oh man, you work to make money, but I always think of, man, you're spending minutes on stuff. You're spending minutes on hobbies, on work, on projects, on dreams. It's like time is money. It is time is money, but I just can't wrap my head around the fact that you are listening to me. Out of everything, me. So thank you. Because I'm not going to sugarcoat this. I'm not going to be like, man, like thank you guys so much. Like no, like I find it crazy, because it's like I'm just someone. I'm not someone big. I'm someone that's just here living, trying to get through the day, and thinking and thinking and reading all of your guys' comments and DMs. Don't think I haven't. And some of those kind of stick with me, and I think about it throughout the day, and I start to conversate with myself and ask myself, how would I respond? How would I even talk about it? What would the topic be? What is the question? What is the end point? What is the end goal? What is the theme of this conversation? And so thank you for listening to me and for sending me something, because don't think I haven't read it. Granted, I won't respond to DMs, but if you email me, I will. So thank you. Whatever you're doing, remember every day is a day closer. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, it may not be next week or next month, but as long as you do it every day, you are one step closer to achieving that dream. You are one step closer to achieving that goal, and you are one step closer to becoming that person you want to be. I had to like kind of rewind it in my brain. Like, did I say that right? One step closer, closer, closer. I think I said that right. So, yeah. Anywho, that's it for me. I mean, man, it's summer's here. I would say honestly here in Oregon, of course. I think summer is officially here, and I love it. I love just being able to explore, and hopefully am able to do this more. So, oh, before I forget, if you have a topic or conversation that you want me to talk about next episode or video, feel free to hit the link tree. It's somewhere around here, and that leads you to my link tree, of course. But in that link tree, there is like a little button that says leave a question or a topic for a future video, and you can click on that and fill that out, and I'll make sure to make a video or episode on it if I haven't already. Anywho, that's it for me, guys. Deuces.